Hello world! I have something very important to share with you. Well, important to me anyway. My top 10 favorite Avatar the Last Airbender episodes of all time. And saying that just sounds weird because it's just like, there are so many amazing episodes. So can you even make a top 10? I did for the sake of the video, and obviously I can easily interchange some of these with episodes that I didn't put in my top 10, and even within the list you can flip them and change the ranks of them. So your list would probably be way different than mine. Maybe not way different than mine, but different than mine. So don't hate me, just understand that I love all the episodes, and I thought that this would be a fun video to make. Also, I'm a pretty casual watcher when it comes to shows and movies, so I'm not gonna like deeply critique them or give any sort of deeper insight. This is just from my biased opinion based on characters I like, how I view shows and stories, what I expect from stories, what I like from stories, and all that kind of thing. So let's dive into it. My number 10 on the list is the Blue Spirit. Zuko and Aang are some of my favorite characters, which isn't saying a lot. I mean, all the characters are pretty awesome, again. But Zuko and Aang, seeing them team up together, and not only that, I just felt like even the fight scene was really well choreographed when they're like using the ladders as stilts to get across, you know, get across those castle looking walls and all that jazz. It was just well done and really entertaining for me as a kid to see. And it was just one of those mysteries of the Blue Spirit where you kind of just knew it was going to be Zuko, but you wanted to see it. I know that like when I watched Avatar as a kid, I watched episodes out of order. So if there were any signs that were pointing to Zuko eventually being the Blue Spirit up to that point, which I don't remember, I wouldn't have caught them. It was one of those things where you wanted to see them team up already and be friends after that. But of course Zuko was like, nope. And Aang was like, I'm out of here. Number 9, the Ember Island Players. The Ember Island Players was such a good... This is my stage, my theater stage, was such a good, reminiscent, nostalgic culmination, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of flashbacky episode without going through boring flashbacks of scenes that we've seen a bunch of times like some shows or anime do, where they waste a full filler episode showing you scenes that you've already seen. This one was just so good because you actually wanted to watch it, and it was funny and cringy and all the good things that you would want. I shouldn't even say that you would want. It's like it gave well, to me, it gave me more than what I wanted in a recap episode. That's what I was looking for, a recap episode. Now, the Ember Island Players was also really good because you were like super excited and happy and laughing, but Sozin's Comet hasn't come yet. So you're also like scared and worried and just like, ugh, what's gonna happen in the next couple episodes? Ember Island Players. Number 8, Sokka's Master. Sokka is one of my favorite characters as well. I think I'm just gonna end up saying that for every character. So, but Sokka really was one of my favorite characters, and so his episode automatically was on my top 10 list. Overall, the episode to me was just a feel-good, almost a slice of life type episode where it's like we didn't have to watch it, but at the same time, I mean, he had his meteor sword, so I guess you did. And why wouldn't you want to watch it anyway? But I just love just the silly humor. Fun, see? Fun. You all know what I mean. Number 7, the Avatar and the Firelord. The Avatar and the Firelord, to me, it was just really... It was just really good storytelling. And so this episode was obviously just a lot of commentary from Sozin and Roku. And I just really liked that back and forth and those different perspectives. And it was just so... It was so deep because you really felt bad for Avatar Roku that he really tried to do his best as the Avatar. Not only that, but to be a good friend. But he did what he had to do almost. He let Sozin go. And it not only bit him in the butt, but the rest of the world. How could he have known, you know? And of course, the episode ended with, Sozin was your father's grandfather. Your mother's grandfather was Avatar Roku. Number 6, the Puppetmaster. The Puppetmaster is one of those episodes where you can show it to someone who's never seen Avatar for the first time and kind of just pull them in, you know, because it's such a unique episode. It's suspenseful. There's some action, and overall it's just chilling, and I'm so cold and bloodbending. Show it to someone if you don't mind them knowing that bloodbending's a thing right away. I mean, yeah, who cares, you know? You get to see, you know, Katara is an OP waterbender. She is fiery in spirit and bold, but at the same time she's sensitive, and it's like, with great power comes great responsibility, but this was like a power that she didn't want. Number 5, the beach. The beach is kind of like Sokka's master to me, where it's like not a whole lot happens. So if you're someone that would leave this off of your list, I totally get it. And for me to have it on my list, I hope that you understand that I just like Avatar the Last Airbender, just because of all the dimensions. You know, you get the deeper emotional stories, you get the intense hype battles, but then you kind of get the funny, lighthearted episodes and moments, and that's what makes the show great too. And the beach is kind of one of those. You know, the volleyball scene, the party scene, the cringiness on the balcony with Azula. We'll dominate the world! Then, of course, the scene where they're literally at the beach expressing themselves and their hearts and their emotions and connecting and all that goodness. You know, it was sweet. I liked it. Number 5, the beach. Number 4, the boiling rock. The boiling rock was another great Sokka episode. We got to see some of his genius, and I was just like, oh my goodness, so smart. But it wasn't just Sokka. I mean, we got to see some heart-wrenching decisions made by Mai and Ty Lee. I mean, that to me, that was one of the best scenes. I mean, I guess, would it be pushing it to say one of the best scenes in the series? I just really liked that scene because it was like you kind of felt it coming on, but you were unsure. Like, would Mai and Ty Lee betray Azula? Because Azula has been, like, untouchable all series. And then, boom, they do it. And then she looks at Zuko, Mai, and then Zuko, you know. I really like that episode. Number 3, the Blind Bandit. To me, the Blind Bandit was another one of those episodes that you could show someone for the first time to get them to, you know, watch Avatar. And I think it would do a really good job because you have a great character like Toph, who is, you know, sassy and funny and confident and kind of rude. And then you have the rest of the cast that is already really fun. And they all have their moments in that episode as well. So, and then of course they all leave together at the end of the episode to go on journeys with Toph. And, you know, it really left you wanting more. I really like the Blind Bandit. Number 3 for me, just because, you know, as a kid, it was like my favorite episode. But number 2 on the list, the Crossroads of Destiny. Now, the Crossroads of Destiny, and I gotta explain, because really it was that long episode that to me kind of just changed the game for children's adventures shows / stories. Just changed the game. To me, this was, just watching it for the first time, this was just mind-blowing, where you kind of just forget you're watching a Nickelodeon kids television show, and you're like, huh? Just the whole Ba Sing Se arc was so good. So many twists and turns and plot twists and everything. Now, before we get into my number 1 episode of all time, we gotta do some honorable mentions. I'm sorry. We just have to, because it's Avatar. And we're gonna do it in the form of acting. Hey everybody, Avatar Kyoshi here. The Unagi's gonna eat well tonight. They don't call it Na Sing Se. That means penetrable city. You can't lose the love because it's in your heart. I missed you, buddy. Hello, Zuko here. But I guess you already probably know me. And my number 1 favorite episode of all time is Sozin's Comet. You guessed it. I'm sure you're not very surprised. But really, Sozin's Comet is split up into 4 episodes. And if I had to choose one, I'd choose the 3rd one. But ultimately, we're going to just take it as a whole. And what a great finale this was. It really was a great finale. I mean, though, before I talk about all the good, I'll mention the one small thing. The one tiny underwhelming part of it was when, you know, out of nowhere, Aang puts his hand on his forehead. At least for me as a kid, I'm like, what is happening? What is he doing? It was still really good. Now, Sozin's Comet overall. Zuko and Iroh. One of the most touching scenes in the whole series. Maybe the most touching scene in the series. One of my favorite touching, reuniting, heart-to-heart scenes of like any show that I've seen. You know, it doesn't get much deeper than that. Just knowing, you know, the love and the betrayal and the forgiveness. It was really powerful. We had, you know, the depth of the battle with Azula and Zuko. You know, we were waiting for that fight, and I think, you know, if you watched the season earlier on, you kind of just expected it to be like, all right, is Zuko going to be stronger? But when it came time for the battle, it was really like, you didn't really want to see Azula go down. Or like, I didn't. You knew all the wrong that she had done, but it's like you felt bad for her, which is really good storytelling again. Really good character development again. And of course, Zuko, with the way it ended, sacrificing himself, it just showed how far that he came as a person with his character and his heart and who he was. Such a great scene. And then obviously it ended with Avatar State, with Aang coming back and throwing it down. So, I mean, there were just so many moments. Oh, and Iroh. That was just a powerful, powerful moment. You know, Iroh was just so patient all series. He kind of had that faith that Zuko would come back and that the Avatar, you know, would get the world to this point to be able to overcome the Fire Nation and the Firelord. Sozin's Comet was a great finale. So, let me know. What was your top 10? What was your favorite episode or episodes? Do you disagree with my list completely? Again, that's okay. I think if you love Avatar, we just love the series. You know, that's why doing a video like this is fun, because it doesn't have to be a fight or a huge debate. It's all just great. No rhyme intended. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.